Have you ever imagined what it's like to become a gay Mormon? Well, there's no surprise that life as a Mormon can be tough, and just like any religion, one must adhere to countless rules and restrictions to remain in good standing. However, we all know that most of these teachings are taken from the Holy Book, and at most, these are words that aim for the well-being of the faithful. But it's a different story for gay Mormons. Most of the time, they have to endure hardship, judgment, and criticism just because they decide to be vocal about their true identity. And beneath the surface of a tight-knit community, there are countless stories of resilience, love, and the search for authenticity. In this video, we'll be sharing the journey that homosexual members of this church face and the incredible support they found along the way. Where it all began. It was all in the early 1800s, in the midst of the Second Great Awakening, a period of religious revival sweeping through the United States. Enter Joseph Smith, a young boy from a deeply religious but not particularly wealthy family in upstate New York. In 1820, at the age of 14, Joseph experienced what is now known as the first vision. According to his accounts, he went into a grove of trees near his home to pray for guidance on which church to join. There, he claimed to have been visited by God the Father and Jesus Christ, who told him not to join any existing denominations because they were all in error. This vision marked the beginning of a new religious movement. Fast forward to 1823, when Joseph said he was visited by an angel named Moroni. Moroni revealed the existence of golden plates buried in a nearby hill, which contained the record of ancient American civilizations. After 4 years of annual visits to the site, Joseph was finally allowed to retrieve the plates in 1827. Using what he described as divine means, Joseph translated these plates into what we now know as the Book of Mormon, first published in 1830. This book, which Mormons believe to be another testament of Jesus Christ, became the cornerstone of their faith. On April 6, 1830, Joseph Smith officially organized the Church of Christ, later known as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, in Fayette, New York, with a small group of followers. Despite facing significant persecution, the church grew rapidly. Joseph and his followers were driven from state to state, eventually finding a more permanent home in Nauvoo, Illinois. The martyrdom of Joseph Smith. Yep, he was a martyr. On June 27, 1844, Joseph Smith and his brother Hiram were killed by a mob while imprisoned in Carthage, Illinois. After Joseph Smith's tragic assassination in 1844, leadership passed to Brigham Young. He led the Mormons on a grueling journey westward, culminating in their settlement in the Salt Lake Valley in present-day Utah. This migration, known as the Mormon Pioneer Trek, solidified the church's presence in the American West. Central to the church's teachings is the belief in traditional marriage between a man and a woman, considered a divine institution crucial for the eternal progression of souls. For gay Mormons, this doctrine presents a profound conflict as their innate identities clash with the religious teachings they hold dear, living a double life. A number of gay Mormons become fully involved in the church as children, taking part in its rites, going to Sunday services, and going on missions. They learn early on the value of chastity and the sacredness of heterosexual marriage. A severe internal struggle frequently results from someone realizing their sexual orientation. Many people decide to live a double life, hiding their genuine identities to escape rejection and preserve their place in the community, since they are torn between their beliefs and their identity. But what happens when your true self doesn't align with the teachings? For many gay Mormons, this means leading a double life, concealing their sexual orientation to avoid rejection and maintain their place within their community. There might be a lot of pressure to fit in. There are many tales of people who chose to marry heterosexual people in the hopes that their sexual orientation would change as a result of their religion and commitment, or that their feelings would eventually dissipate. Some people experience years of emotional upheaval, damaged relationships, and a crippling sense of loneliness as a result of this. These marriages frequently come to an unhappy end, with both spouses bearing the scars of a partnership based on denial. The pressure to conform. Now, to be gay is a sin to the church. Some parents of gay Mormons even send their prospective gay children to correctional therapies as recommended by the church. Also, it is not possible for children of same-sex parents to get baptized in the church until they turn 18. Additionally, according to church policy, children of gay parents are not allowed to live with them and must reject support for same-sex relationships in order to be accepted by the church's upper echelons. It has been recorded that 32 LGBTQ youth suicides have arisen after the announcement of the rules. Some have even dropped out of school due to a suicide attempt related to thinking that there is a possible escape from the dilemma. If it hadn't been for Prop 8, others may have come out at an even earlier age. The church's stance and its evolution. Though it has changed throughout time, the Mormon Church's views on homosexuality are still essentially conservative. The Church was instrumental in the 2008 adoption of California's Proposition 8, which aimed to outlaw same-sex unions. This action sparked a lot of criticism and raised awareness of the Church's policies across the country. Nonetheless, there have been indications of a softer stance in recent years. Church leaders have asked for greater tolerance and compassion while acknowledging that same-sex attraction is real. The Church instituted a policy in 2015 designating married couples of the same sex as apostates and preventing their children from being baptized. 2019 saw the reversal of this policy in response to ongoing internal discussions and outside demand for reform. Seeking solace in secret. For many LGBT Mormons in recent years, social media and the internet have been a lifeline. Social networks, support groups, and online forums provide a platform for them to interact with people who have similar experiences. These online groups give people comfort, guidance, and a sense of community that they frequently lack in their real-world interactions. Furthermore, some gay Mormons receive support from LGBTQ+ advocacy organizations that function inside or alongside the Church, like Mormons Building Bridges and Affirmation, which aim to foster more welcoming environments. Despite the difficulties, a great number of gay Mormons show incredible bravery and tenacity. Some decide to stay in the Church, pushing for internal reform and making an effort to make their identity and their faith work together. Others depart from the Church in search of genuineness and acceptability in other settings. Every journey is different, filled with hardships, victories, and self-discoveries of being gay and divorcing. Josh Weed, a writer and therapist who came out as gay in 2012 while still married to his wife Lolly, is one example of such a tale. The Weed's choice to live a transparent and genuine life attracted a lot of attention and spurred significant discussions on the challenges of sexuality and faith within the Mormon community. Josh Weed's story is unique and deeply moving. Growing up in a devout Mormon family, Josh always knew he was gay, but he also deeply valued his faith and the teachings of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. In 2002, he married his best friend Lolly, knowing that his sexual orientation didn't align with the traditional expectations of his faith. Josh and Lolly supported one another through the challenges of their complicated situation for 10 years, navigating their marriage with love and honesty. Josh made the decision to tell his story to the public in 2012 with the intention of igniting a conversation about the relationship between sexuality, faith, and authenticity. Josh came out as gay in their joint blog post, which went viral and caused significant discussions both inside and outside of the Mormon community. Josh and Lolly highlighted in their touching message that their marriage was built on a strong bond of respect for one another. They made it clear that despite Josh's sexual orientation, they still deeply loved each other and were devoted to their family. This brave epiphany created fresh perspectives on love, religion, and the intricacies of interpersonal relationships. Josh's story serves as a tribute to the value of being true to oneself and the strength of authenticity, especially in the face of social expectations. Countless people have been motivated by his journey to embrace diversity in love and faith, as well as to be more understanding and empathetic. A path forward. The experience of LGBT Mormons is proof of the resiliency and optimism of the human spirit. There are times of deep connection, love, and self-discovery along the journey, even though it is frequently paved with suffering and secrecy. It is hoped that the Mormon Church will become more inclusive and provide a more welcoming environment for all of its members as society and dialogues on sexuality and religion continue to advance. Meanwhile, the covert lives of LGBT Mormons continue to serve as a potent reminder of the fortitude and resiliency needed to negotiate the junction of faith and identity in a society that frequently demands conformity. Their experiences force us to examine our own prejudices and ideas in order to build a more accepting and understanding society for all people, regardless of their sexual orientation or place of faith. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the secret lives of gay Mormons. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe for more deep dives into important and often untold stories. Until next time, stay compassionate and keep exploring. Bye for now.